Good morning, good people. Second and final race of the Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup presented by Michelin here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta brings us to the end of the 2025 season. And what a season it has been, starting on the high banks and the fast drafting races that we had at the Rolex 24 at Daytona, and we finish at another classic IMSA event, and the championships are yet to be decided. Shea Adam alongside me, John Heintorf. There's so much to talk about. We're going to have to talk really quickly, but the championships in the overall, okay, we know there's a potential winner there once we get the green flag, but rookies wide open. And teams.
Rookie got shaken up last night, John, by dint of a post-race penalty issued to Noah Harmon for incident responsibility on the racetrack. 39 seconds added to his race time, meaning that instead of a 140-point gap between first and third in the rookie championship, which let's not forget is for 80 grand, it's now only 100 points between the three of them, and two of the three are starting together in their best ever starting positions. It's going to be wild.
And where the teams battle is basically one position on track between MMR and BSI.
It is literally whichever car finishes better from either of those teams takes home the title for the best team of the year, which also comes with awards at the awards ceremony later tonight.
Let's have a look as the cars are about to roll in the morning sunshine. Blue skies today. It was overcast yesterday. And yesterday's race, well, the storylines really came down to a big incident towards the end of the race. And Tyler Gonzalez, the innocent party, is the one that lost out the most there, taking him out of championship contention.
And ultimately got rid of that car. The red and white BSI machine from Classic Mazda will not be running today. It will be yellow, white, and black, but it was coming to the checkered line. Jeremy Fletcher keeping the lead, keeping his championship dream alive, and taking victory over rookie and debutante halfway through this year, Ethan Jacobs in the number 99. Ultimately, penalties applied the way of Nathan Nicholson for that contact with Tyler Gonzalez, dropped him down. That's what really shook up the points as well, because instead of coming away with the third place finish, Nathan Nicholson was dropped all the way back to 25th. And it means that he is now struggling to hang on to second in the championship instead of going for the 250 grand.
The simple part for the 250,000, which is
real cash money,
is that if our championship leader starts the race, he is guaranteed the 10 points he needs.
Basically, we have 31 cars in the field. In order for the championship to not go the way of Jeremy Fletcher, it would need to be a win from Nathan Nicholson, most laps led, fastest lap led. That's the only way that it could go, and then Fletcher would need to finish 31st. Now, this is doable, except Nathan Nicholson has led the most laps once in his 23 previous race starts. He's gotten the fastest lap once in his previous 23 race starts, and he's never won a race. So the odds are very slim that anyone else besides the blue and white car of Jeremy Fletcher goes home with that championship.
Here's the Mazda grid from the front this time. Weston Workman had the second best time in qualifying. I don't think
it was in the race.
I was about to say, I don't think he did actually. He actually improved in the race yesterday. So Weston Workman in the number 13 for BSI, and that's important for the team's championship, is on the front row, which will be driver's right with Gresham Wagner for McCumbee McAleer Racing. So the two teams battling are on the front row for the team's championship. Then a full row of BSI, and that is also a championship battle. Elio Meza and Noah Harmon battling for the rookie championship, and there's a cash prize there as well, along with Ethan Goulart, who's a bit further down.
And Noah Harmon has never qualified in the top 10. He picked the perfect race to do it.
Behind them, it's Jared Thomas and Skylar Cottrell. Ethan Jacobs, Jeremy Fletcher in the next row back, which is row 4. Row 5, Nathan Nicholson and Marcello Panicia. Then Matt Novak, Justin Adeconis, whole raft of rookies there, and we have not started this race, although we have started the clock. So I can continue with the Mazda starting grid. Parker DeLong and Julian DeCosta on row 7, Grant West and Nate Cicero on 8. And let's remind you all, whilst we are under yellow with the clock starting, where we are racing this weekend. Just over 2.5 miles of one of the most challenging racetracks in the world. And I say that without fear or favour. It's the track that I've been to most here in North America since the first Motorsport Le Mans in 1998. The insanely quick entry in all cars, and particularly these MX-5s into turn 1, is something to behold from ground level. Then over the top of the hill, through the signature S's into turn 5, and then which is where they are, then that tricky little run downhill over the top of a brow. Try and pick your braking point. There used to be white lines on the track coming down to turn 6, but they're not there anymore. So you've got to pick somewhere that's not going to move. So, by the way, don't pick the crowd stripe signage there, because that might not be there the next time you come around. Turn 6 slightly banked, and then through to turn 7. One of those corners that you always feel you've left a bit of pace on the table until you haven't, and you're off into the dirt, and that can have severe consequences.
Yeah, we should mention that the reason the clock started, but we are still behind the Mazda safety car, the Whelen safety car, is because conditions much colder than they were yesterday. Need that extra lap to try and get the heat into the Michelin tires before we send these cars off for what will be about 42, maybe 41.5 minutes of racing. Trust me, we're going to get our money's worth out of this. But while we are behind this Whelen safety car, I'd like to give a special shout out to Andres and Ashley, two of our Mazda family. It's their 9th anniversary today, and they are celebrating here with us at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta.
Really smart call from race direction to give the teams and drivers an extra 2.5 miles. In point of fact, it will not diminish the race at all. First of all, A, it's 45 minutes, and B, it's Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup, which was another barnstormer. Well, here we are again, Shay Adam, overlooking the last 40-odd minutes of the Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup presented by Michelin season, and still with major championship considerations to be sorted out. Beautiful side by side, the multicoloured cars as they come down. Western Workman on driver's right gets a bit of a jump, and coming through behind him there, that was a great start by Jared Thomas in his backup car, the darker coloured car, onto the inside at turn 1, but Workman it is who leads out, and no surprises there, Shay. You do not like to see people out of line. Neither do race control. Start under review.
Noah Harmon changed columns before the start. That's going to be...
She is wrinkling her nose. I knew she wasn't happy with that.
That's going to have implications for the Rookie of the Year championship as well, because race control will look at that, and if they deem it serious enough, that could be a drive-through penalty, meaning that will drop Noah way back in the field. Two cars that started further back in the field that we didn't even get to on the grid rundown that we need to pay attention. The number 57 of Tyler Gonzalez today, it is white, yellow, and black. He's starting from the back of the pack, his BSI machine, a backup car. The other car who's way out of place was Ethan Goulart, did not get the fast lap yesterday. He started in the 29th position. Look for that Sato Motorsport group. That will be white, red, and green. That car should be moving forward too.
Yeah. The 57 change of chassis was Tyler Gonzalez, and didn't we have another one? Wasn't it Rocco Pasquarella as well,
correct.
AAG? Those both put to the back of the grid because they had to change their chassis after the unfortunate incident, shall we put it that way, from yesterday. So, now, let's settle in for the last 41 minutes of the 2025 season and try not to get too excited early on, dear viewer and listener, wherever you are around the world. Matt Novak in the white Advanced Autosport number 10 car, white with the black and red on the hood, and then side by side behind him. That you really can't do that, you know. Physics won't allow you, except in Mazda MX-5.
Well, and that was two MMR cars going side by side. Bobby Gossett trying to go around the outside and then down the inside of Nate Cicero. Ultimately, Nate hung on to the position. Bobby wound up getting quite loose, and it opened the door to BSI Racing. Julian DaCosta is off at the top of turn 3. Somebody taking out a banner, but managing to keep pointed in the right direction. I think that was Gresham Wagner is now off as another car. That's the 44. That is once again the car that we saw sideways earlier on. Another MMR car, and back to the MMR is, we've got Gresham Wagner at the back of the pack.
Yeah.
This is chaos right now for black cars.
Yeah, That was the backup car. We mentioned that number 96, not in his normal colourway. But we continue under green. It has not affected what's going on at the front of the field for Western Workman in the Little Caesars supported car. So let's try and unpick what happened at the top of the hill. First of all, a spin at turn 2, and that was at least a 360, maybe 2 full rotations there.
Gresham got sent by Skylar Cottrell off on that wild ride.
Yeah, the black and green car. And then there was another push, so it was right in the middle of the pack.
I think that was Cicero who got into the back of
Yes.
Bobby Gossett.
Well, they were having the battle, weren't they? And
Yep.
they are quote-unquote teammates.
Oh, no, they are.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yep, they're all from the MMR stables. So
Yeah.
that was a very heart and mouth lap for both Chad McCumbee and Stephen McAleer, the co-owners of McCumbee McAleer Racing. But leading yet another lap, Weston Workman, the pizza delivery man, is well on his way to try and claim the most laps.
And that gives you points. Remember, at the end of this race, there's cash going down to 10th place in the overall. At the end of the championship, which is also the end of this race, also goes down to 10th in the championship. Over $1.2 million up for grabs this season, half of which will be awarded at the end of the season.
And the biggest thing that we need to keep an eye on as far as this season-long championship goes, aside from the Rookie of the Year battle, we've got Justin Ataconis, who's moved his way up into the top 10. Again, cash-paying position for tonight's banquet. Parker DeLong has been shuffled back out as a result of yesterday's race. So those cars, and we have to throw Sally Mott into consideration too. She's tight enough to be able to move into the top 10. They are fighting for position at the banquet tonight.
No further action on the start order as they came across the line. So race control, who were up on the 4th floor above our heads here in the Michelin Tower, looking down on that and then reviewing the footage. So we race as we are on the track. Nicholson in the black, white and yellow car, the WAT car, the Watt car, trying to come round the outside. There's a little bit of side-by-side action there with Noah Harmon, another one of the rookies who's right in that battle at the moment, and side-by-side again through the final corner. And that is very tight indeed with Marcella Panizia, who has been right at the sharp end. Actually, we've got a great cast of rookies this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll come back next year, but they've already made their mark at the front of the field. There's no learning year in Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup, it seems.
No, and so many of the impressive rookies have been coming up and brought up by Sato Motorsports Group this year. Jay Sato, big plans for next year, trying to continue this fostering of the rookie talent. Marcello Paniccia, one of those rookies that he hopes to continue to grow with. Marcello has been so impressive this year. In the few starts that we've seen of him, wet, dry, doesn't matter. He has been there or thereabouts, and he was there yesterday too. But it's Jared Thomas leading the way from Elio Meza. That's critical. Elio has the Rookie of the Year points lead right now, holding on to it, but Elio also wants to win a race this year.
Fastest lap, Parker DeLong with a 1:36.467. That's the Mazda fastest lap of the race at the moment. He sits in 8th position, and that actually is getting on for a second quicker than even the guys at the front of the field are doing in clear air. So that's pretty impressive by Parker DeLong. Keep an eye on that, because that again is points, and ultimately points does mean not prizes but cash at the end of the year.
And we've had a significant change because Gresham Wagner is into the pit lane. He will be categorized as 31st, meaning one more car needs to fall out to guarantee Jeremy Fletcher this championship, no matter what else happens on the track. But for Nathan Nicholson, he's not leading the race, he's not leading the most laps, and he is not setting the fastest lap, so he's not doing enough in his own hands to try and claim control of the championship.
He's there. He's half a second away from the lead.
Yeah, but Jared Thomas has led 2 laps. Weston Workman's led 3.
Yeah, good point. So he needs to get to the front and lead some laps, because just winning the race will not be enough for that multicoloured black, white and yellow car. 56 sitting in Nathan Nicholson's hands in 4th place at the moment. Not a bad place to be, but must get to the front if he's to have any opportunity to put pressure on the championship leader. Where is our championship leader at the moment? Doing what he needs to do, staying out of trouble. Jeremy Fletcher for McCumbee McAleer Racing with Justin Anaconis and Nate Cicero, his two MMR teammates. He sits in 11th. That's fine.
John, staying out of trouble. Is there any place on the racetrack when you're in one of these races that's staying out of trouble?
What am I saying? I'll get my coat and leave now. I have sullied the good entertainment name of Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup. Hang on my headset. What am I thinking? You're absolutely right. Elio Meza goes back to the lead.
I mean, you would have just said that Jared Thomas was in the least troublesome place leading the race. Well, now he's back to P6, looking at P7 with Parker DeLong coming through the passage. And leading this lap will be Elio Meza. So once again, third different leader in the race. We're only 6 laps in.
Elio Meza puts his fastest lap of the race in, a 37 flat, and Justin Anaconis will be taking the points if the race ended now for fastest lap of the race. On the Michelin tyres at 136.120. Pretty chilly this morning, 15 Celsius as now it was about 12 when we left the hotel this morning, although the track temperature in the sun isn't bad. It's up 26, 27 Celsius, which is what it was yesterday afternoon in the overcast. As off at the touch there in the middle of the field.
Matthew
and
Novak.
round goes Matthew. He didn't hit anything.
Nope.
Put the Powerball on. That is incredible. Reversed the lock on the steering as he was going backwards to spin the front end. It's got the weight of the 4-cylinder inline 180 horsepower 2-litre engine there. And there's some debris on the road as well coming into turn number 7. Oh, and that's because we've got a spinner, and that's Alex Bashura in his last Mazda MX-5 Cup race.
And Zach Collins said that's the car with the significant amount of damage. Now, Alex did assure me this is not his last race. This is his last full season. He said
Correct.
He's going to have a really hard time staying away from this form of racing. Is to the lead, finally, goes Nathan Nicholson. So now he can feel better about doing everything he can to try and take this championship back. But it's going to be difficult for him to stay in the front.
Advance Autosports leads then across the line from BSI. Elio Meza doing enough at the moment to ensure BSI take the team's championship. Then it's Sato Motorsport Group, then BSI, then Parker DeLong. DeLong is flying up through the field. He's in the traffic now. Lost that fastest lap to Justin Anaconis last time by, but Parker DeLong in the Parker DeLong racing car, the number 42, now up into the top 5. That's been a good drive forward for him, and he's just hooking on to the leading quartet with the bright green around the windscreen on that car. Thank you so much, because that makes that number 42 so easy to spot from a distance. People who have coloured roll cages as well. Parker is one, he's got a bright red roll cage that sticks out, and of course that's something that your eyes go to as well. But I really like the idea of the coloured windscreen surround. That's brilliant.
And I talked about Parker yesterday. This is a dad and lad operation. They drive the rig to the races themselves. They fix the car. Parker's one of the people wrenching on the car. He's cleaning wherever he can because he knows what he knows. And he is just such a humble young man, still a high school student, looking to try and make this dream of being a professional race car driver, but doing it with his dad. It's such a beautiful story, the two of them, what they've been able to achieve. The podium here last year, looking to try and replicate that success.
Didn't feel the need to defend on Thomas behind him, and that's pretty confident. As down from second, Meza drops to 7th position.
The Pac-Man just hit Meza and nerfed him out of the way. That's big for the Rookie of the Year championship. Meza had been battling for the lead. Now he's back in P7.
And that means that I think it is the Sato Motorsport Group car, Michele Pantia, who's gone through into the lead of the Rookies Championship. Now, who was it who hit the back of the 10 earlier on there?
It was either Julian DaCosta or Nate Cicero. Both cars were in very close proximity. Zach Hollingshead did get into Alex Bashura. That was fairly straightforward as Weston Workman goes for a spin, and there's contact between he and Nate Cicero in the S's. Both cars now stopped off to driver's right. Full course yellow is out.
Half an hour to go, and that's on driver's right, entering turn 5, fast part of the track. Neither of those cars are going to make a move. So Matt Novak, this is good news for Matt Novak, because he'll be able to catch back up to the to the front of the field. So our pole sitter, Western Workman in the blue and white number 13, and the mostly white Nate Cicero number 83. One of the McCumbee McAleer Racing cars that you would expect it to be battling for them to take the team's championship will take no further part.
Championship's over. Because with these two cars out, as well as the other two cars out, the minimum place that Jeremy Fletcher could finish would be 27th. That would be 40 points added to his total, meaning that the championship cannot switch hands. McCumbee McAleer, for the second year in a row, you have won the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, subject to post-race technical inspections
of course.
All of that. But yes, absolutely, as it stands. We say that a lot at this time of the year. As it stands.
Good to see both drivers out of their cars.
Yeah. Now, were the two drivers that ended up off the circuit the ones who were battling? Weston hit the curb at turn 4 and speared across into the guardrail on the left-hand side, broke the steering and came back. Nate Cicero with nowhere to go. And I think there's damage as well to Sally Mott's car coming through, the bright pink machine, right front of that car. A very uncharacteristic mistake from Western Workman. It is threading the eye of a needle down through the S's there, and the edge of that curve drops away, and it unsettled the car and pitched him across the track. At that point and at that speed, the car is sort of on the ragged edge, isn't it, through there. And at that point, Weston becomes a passenger. So we've crowned the champion. Well done, Jeremy Fletcher. What about second place in the championship, though? Because both of the protagonists there for vice champion and, of course, for another large payout. How's that going to be affected now? Because we do have to shift our attention slightly onto that.
Nathan holds on to that because he is leading. Where is Tyler Gonzalez in the running?
He's moved up to 16th.
Okay. Well, he needs to be ahead of Nathan Nicholson by 7 positions if they are outside of the top 3. It's that simple. So as it is right now, Nathan is holding on to that $85,000 check.
Yeah. It's significant, isn't it? So it's, you know, it's not the $250,000 for the winner. Jeremy Fletcher's name will be inscribed on that later on. Are you officiating at the banquet today?
I am.
Oh, excellent. So you get to hand over the big comedy check.
I do.
Let's have another look at what happened down at turn 10. And it all happened at the front of the field. A little bit of a check-up from Nathan Nicholson, the leader, and then it's actually very, very light contact between Noah Harmon that backed everybody up, and I really feel sorry for Nate Cicero and in fact for Weston Workman. That was a tiny mistake from Weston. Big consequences. Spears back across the track to driver's right, and you're not looking there for a car. You know, Nate's whole concentration is running up the right-hand side of the yellow and blue curbs before you turn in to miss the bump at the entry to turn 5. He's not expecting to see Weston Workman or indeed anybody appearing from his left-hand side.
No, and this is not the first time this year that when bad luck has plagued Cicero or Workman, the other has wound up involved.
Yeah.
It's really devastating for both drivers. Complete accident, racing incident, no malintent, but a driver who got very, very lucky was Justin Adiconis, because came back across his nose did Weston Workman, and Justin just managed to stay clear on through. I'm going to want to see his onboard footage as well as Jeremy Fletcher, because that had to be a heart-in-the-mouth moment for both of those drivers. Another driver who got off very lucky, Jared Thomas. No damage to his car as he bailed out. Drivers left going through the S's. Through the grass also for Elio Meza. There were a lot of cars taking avoiding action. Really unfortunate that the two who got caught up in it did.
And Sally Mott lost a couple of positions as well to Julian DaCosta and Grant West, but she is still running in the JTR Motorsport engineering car. So for second place in the championship, Nathan Nicholson doing exactly what he needs to do at the moment. That is leading the race and clicking off some laps in the lead as well. The points for fastest lap as it stands goes to Justin Adiconis for McCumbee McAleer Racing. Now, that's good for Justin, those fastest lap points don't count for the team's competition.
Yep.
It is purely where the first car is, and at the moment between McCumbee McAleer Racing and BSI, Noah Harmon, it's like the Ryder Cup, isn't it? We're waiting to see who gets that extra position.
Well, and of course, we have all of these incidents under review as well, and they all affect the team standings and the rookie standings, because our rookies are under investigation too. With this lap behind the safety car, Nathan Nicholson has now led the most laps. It's just worth noting, as I am. But that moment, oh gosh, it's going to stick with us for a while.
It was, as I say, it was a tiny mistake. Workman just turned in, what, half a car too early? And instead of riding onto the curb smoothly, got onto the grass and then hit the upward part of the leading edge of the curb, snatches the wheel, unsettles the car, pitches him right. He's got it, he doesn't have it, he's on the grass. And at that point, he's safe. All right, he's going towards the wall, but bouncing off the wall, broken left front steering arm, I'd say, spears across from out of the peripheral vision of Nate Cicero, who, as I mentioned, would never have expected to see a car coming at that speed, at that angle, from the left-hand side. It must have been a heck of a shock for him on his side of the car.
And I've got to say, we've had quite a bit of running behind the safety car over the course of this season. This incident, I'm not upset about at all, because nobody put us in this situation as Nathan Nicholson is out of his car.
Leader at turn one. He's looking underneath the back to the right-hand side, and he's got out the car. Now, this is huge now for second place, and the second biggest check.
I wonder if this is some sort of an alternator issue or battery issue.
He's got the trunk lid open, the boot lid open, and he clearly knows what it is, or he's spoken to the team and they've told him what to look at. And he's under the back. He had a...
Oh, no.
Now he's got to get himself bolted back in. The AMR safety team, our hard-working safety team, best in the biz. They will not let him drive away without having his full harness, shoulder belt, lap belt, and the crotch belt as well. They will not let him drive away. Where's the safety car? Safety car on the back straight. He might, if he can get this restarted, he might not lose a lap, but this is huge. This is a massive point swing. Tyler Gonzalez in 16th position from the back of the grid, from 31st, after having to change the chassis after that big incident yesterday, which was predicated by Nicholson. So there'll be no love lost between those two right now. Tyler Gonzalez, an absolute innocent party in that incident. No, it's not being fixed. Again. He's got the other end of the car up, and the guys at the AMR saying, got to tell you, man, we're going to have to tow you. We're going to have to tow you. Here comes the safety car. He goes a lap down. This is going to be all she wrote. Now, where does Tyler have to finish now to usurp him?
Doesn't matter. Anywhere ahead of him.
Really?
It was 7 positions.
Right.
So with Nathan Nicholson dropping down the field, he's now scored as 27th in the field. That means that Tyler Gonzalez would need to be 20th or better in order to tie, and the tie break goes to the guy who's won the most races. Tyler Gonzalez has won 5.
So Tyler Gonzalez with 5 Ws on the season has the tie break should it come to that. I don't think it's going to. I do not think Nathan Nicholson's car and the Advance Autosport MX-5, the number 56, the sort of bumblebee colour with the black and the yellow and the white on the front of it, it's on the tow rope. It's all over. It's all over. Drama of a different type to which we were expecting, with Jeremy Fletcher confirmed now as subject to post-race inspection as the overall champion, and Tyler Gonzalez has to get to the end of the race now to be in second place.
Yep, Tyler will be getting that information from his BSI crew. BSI leading the lap, first ever lap. Noah Harmon has led, and thank you to our eyes and ears up in Concord, North Carolina, letting us know all that happened to Nathan Nicholson. He was warming his tires, and he seems to pull over. And indeed, coming behind the safety car, lost power.
That's dead stick, isn't it?
Dead stick. And dead stick going uphill does not work.
No, stopped immediately. And I think your call about an electrical issue, I suspect that his dash went blank as well, because he went straight to the boot. Now that's where the battery is.
And we've seen that.
Yeah,
we've seen that in the past. That happened at Daytona.
Yeah, correct.
Not for him, for different people, but for Noah Harmon right now. Lights are out on the safety car, by the way. Noah Harmon leading. He's doing enough in the position that he is to take the rookie championship from Whelen Mazda.
Yeah, Whelen Mazda is way down at the moment.
Can somebody please go check on Gordon Harmon, Noah's dad, and make sure that he's still breathing?
Whelen MX-5 safety car pulls away. Whee! That's what we'd be doing. We said that yesterday. I like that. Hands out the top.
Oh, of course.
We'd be very unprofessional in that. That's why we're sitting in the booth. The first two cars have their right-hand door mirrors folded in. That is not for aerodynamic advantage, although, hey, you never know. That's how close Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup, presented by Michelin, is. Back to green flag with 18 3/4 of minutes to go off the season. Noah Harmon leads his second ever lap of the championship. Round the outside, here comes another one of the rookies. Saito Motorsport Group, brilliant stuff round turn one, but they're still side by side. Parker DeLong, who's made his way up there, PTR on the side of the car with the green windscreen frame. He's got a sniff of not just a podium, but something better. None of the drivers in the top. Oh, there's a bit of tyre rub down the bottom of the hill, right rear on the number 51
That's Will Robinson
car.
from Hendricks Motorsport making his debut this weekend. We've got a penalty. That is for car 39, Zach Hollingshead. Incident responsibility with Alex Bashura. Drive-through. Now, Zach is in the pit lane. He will not be rejoining, so that's more of a message to everyone else as to the expectations. But for Will Robinson, excellent job staying out of the way. Whelen Mazda off the track, coming through turn 7, hits a banner, manages to rejoin. Right now, we have one former race winner inside the top 15.
That's what I was about to say before that incident. None of the drivers, bar
Jared Thomas.
And Jeremy Fletcher.
Jeremy, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So only
Two race winners.
Two race winners in the top 15. Everybody else would be a new name on the top step of the box. And that's what I'm talking about with the... there's quite a lot of rookies in there, quite a lot of people in there. Sophomore, yeah, spin at the exit of turn 10. Dust everywhere and everywhere. Somehow everybody has managed to miss the stationary car.
Von Mischko. Von, another one of the advanced auto sport cars. They're having a very difficult couple of minutes as we are down to a third of the race to go. Noah Harmon shuffled back to third as we have a new leader. It is the Pac-Man who led across the line, and we have more penalties that will not affect the race because of things that have already happened. Weston Workman has been given an incident responsibility for that contact stop plus 30. That will just be added to his race time. Into the pit lane does make Will Robinson, so good of him to stay off the racetrack and allow racing to continue. But it is the Pac-Man who now leads Marcello for the first time in his career.
Yeah, what happened on the back straight? That was Whelen Mazda pushing too hard at turn 7. It is that corner that we talk about. He's got his driver's side door mirror folded in. And then there's been, now there was some pushing going on there that spun Von Mischko around and lost the engine on that car, couldn't get it restarted for a moment or two, but it is running now, right at the back of the field. My goodness me. Typical Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup racing. And don't write the headline. Do not start thinking about who is on the podium. We've still at the moment got the rookies to work out. Noah Harmon has one hand on that trophy, but every time we've said that, something's happened to the protagonist. We've still got BSI leading in the team's championship by 2 places though. Noah Harmon versus Justin Adeconis. It's going to be the battle of the rookies to find out who our team's championship is this year. Brilliant stuff with 15 minutes of the season to go.
Never in a million years would have guessed that. It would come down to the rookies. We can't forget Noah Harmon does have an incident that's going to be reviewed post-race, so we have to keep that in the back of our minds. But for now, Noah Harmon P3, Elio Meza P11. Those are the two relevant ones because Ethan Goulart has only managed to work his way up to 20th. So for right now, it's those two rookies that we keep our eyes on. Noah Harmon driving brilliantly, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit elbows out, as you always expect here in Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup. But this has been another great, entertaining season from the... somebody described this to me as Moto 3 in car form. If you follow motorcycling, you'd understand that. And our good friend Declan Brennan, morning Declan, I know you'll be tuned in for this. It's the Appointment of View Racing, isn't it?
Hey,
he says, think about Formula Ford in the 1970s and 80s. It's Formula Ford racing with fenders. And he's spot on with that. Both of those analogies for MX-5 Cup. I'll tell you now, there will be no work going on in the Michelin Pilot Challenge paddock or in the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship paddock at the moment because everybody is watching this.
There's no sleeping in the driver's owner's lot for the WeatherTech Championship either. Everybody's awake, and it's not just because of our beautiful engines roaring around the track. It's because everyone wants to see how this one is going to play out. Now, I can't say for sure that Parker DeLong has never led a lap before, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time that he's led a lap in his
I think you're right. I think you're right. And he's come up through the field, had the fastest lap for a little while, but Justin Adiconis has that now. And now there's only one car, and it is the Saito Motorsport Group, Marcello Panitia, between BSI's Noah Harmon and Justin Adiconis. Jeremy Fletcher is the next of the two teams battling. He's ahead of Julian DaCosta. So McCumbee McAleer, 2 bullets in the gun, and Julian DaCosta makes it the second bullet for BSI Racing. So should there be any Argy or indeed Bargy at the front of the field as Jeremy Fletcher starts to move forward. Champion-elect, is he going to get the points for MMR?
Oh yeah, Jeremy Fletcher has pulled the pin. They've told him, mate, you've done it. It's your championship. Go win this race. That's what his grandpa said to me, that he was going to tell the kid. You go out, you win the race. You earned this championship already. Go have some fun. And guess what? They intend to come back next year.
What's interesting there is Julian DaCosta is in the Lightning McQueen car behind him and he's pushing him down. And that is 2 team rivals for the championship in terms of the team's competition.
Well, so you want to work with whoever's around you, but you really want to work with who's fast. And Jeremy Fletcher is fast. He's proven that this year. So right now, what we're seeing is DaCosta going, all right, I don't care what team you're with. I'll work with you until we got 2 laps to go.
Now, the car ahead of Jeremy Fletcher is his MMR teammate, Justin Adiconis, who needs to be 2 places further ahead. One of those 2 cars currently in 5th and 6th, the 22, that's the 5th place car, or Justin Adiconis in the 23. They need to move up a position or 2 if they're going to nick the team's championship. Down at turn 10 last time around. You see, when you're that close behind people, Charlotte Trainer with Damon Oakey, I think, right in her wheel tracks, psyching each other out. Charlotte braked a little bit too late and Damon braked a little bit later. Both end up off the track, and that is an unusual line through the S's.
Grant West lives 15 minutes away from here. Clearly he knows the quickest way around the track. You said yesterday that the track was 2.5 miles near enough. Grant just made it that.
Yeah.
He just took that 0.04 off.
Yes, 0.04 of a mile. Back to the front of the field, DeLong holding on just about with that green windscreen surround. 3rd position, Adiconis in 3rd now for MMR. And Jeremy Fletcher can't get through, drops a couple of positions, but Adiconis now on the tail of the Saito Motorsport car and Noah Harmon, excuse me. So it's DeLong Racing, Saito Motorsport, McCumbee McAleer Racing put themselves in the winning spot across the line.
And 2 BSI cars hot on the heels of that MMR team car. It's just one. Goosebumps all around.
I have goosebumps on my arms, the hair on my forearms standing up at the moment. 10 minutes to go. And it looks as though, for the moment at least, off.
I think that's Ethan Jacobs, yesterday's runner-up in the race, and indeed it is another one of the Advanced Autosport Group cars.
They're not having a good weekend.
They had a great weekend. Julian DaCosta in the wall.
Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen is injured. This car is facing the wrong direction. It is actually facing the track at turn 3. Significant front and rear end damage for DaCosta. Now, who was he battling with at the time? Answer, his teammate Noah Harmon. The full course caution is out. Parker DeLong will continue to lead behind the safety car, meaning he might just get the 10 bonus points for leading the most laps. Ooh.
So Noah Harmon for BSI in 4th.
But there's damage to Justin Adaconis, so I wonder if maybe Adaconis and DaCosta were close to each other by that point.
Incident involving car number 98 to be reviewed. That was Vaughan Mishko after the race. And also Will Robinson, the Hendricks Motorsport car, also reviewed post-race. Now, again, will that then... We have had the situation here in the past where Shay and I have been in the Global Broadcast Centre and we have had people in the pit lane waiting to hear the results confirmed to know who's won the championship before. That's not going to happen here.
Nope.
But Rookie Championship and Teams Championship, with so much for race control to consider, this is very provisional. Everything we are telling you at the moment, subject to official confirmation.
The only thing that I can tell you for certain is that Jeremy Fletcher is not under investigation right now for anything. So if we stay that way, we can guarantee you that he will be the champion. And also by dint of the fact that we now have 23 cars left running on the track, Fletcher's lead is insurmountable. Unless race control decides that he did something really dumb at some point during the race, they move him back to P last. But again, it's not happening.
Nicholson in 27th position as it stands at the moment.
Okay, we should be able to get a look at what happened to Julian DaCosta. If we look at the top left of the frame, we might be able to get an idea for what happened. DaCosta gets loosened up coming through the S's by Noah Harmon.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh my gosh. And
so that has huge implications.
Race control has been adjudicating all weekend. If you usher another car off the track, if you are the result of another car going off the track, if it affects someone else's race, it's no longer just a drive-through, it's a stop plus 60, which works out to be a 99-second penalty. That could be huge.
Well, even a 10-second penalty with us behind the safety car in the last 7 minutes of the race, 10 seconds would drop them down to 20th position.
The good news for them is that Elio Meza is still up in 6th, for them being BSI. Sorry,
for the teams.
I should clarify that. But for the Rookie of the Year standings, Noah could potentially find himself behind. Oh gosh, how far down would he drop? He could drop down to 3rd in the Rookie of the Year championship if it's a severe enough penalty to move him behind Ethan Goulart, but that's assuming that there's no penalties being looked at for either Elio Meza or Ethan Goulart. I don't think we're going to be able to say at the end of this broadcast, John, who our Rookie of the Year is.
No. Not well, the good news is that any penalties that do get assessed will, as they cross the line, be applied. That our timing partners 2 doors down will do that. But if it's not been adjudicated on by the end, that obviously we can't apply penalties we don't know about, and neither can Al Kamel, our timing partners.
And race control is very fair about all this. They look at all the video. If you say to them, hey, you issued me this penalty, but it's not fair. Yes, I exceeded the maximum lap time, but I had to because I was checking up to avoid this massive wreck in front of me. You show them the onboard. They will rescind penalties.
Yeah.
They're not immune to logic. Despite what some people out there might think, race control is trying to help, and the whole point of this is to try and keep everyone safe.
Second place in the overall championship, by the way. We're watching Tyler Gonzalez. He is in 14th position, another one of the BSI racing cars. That would be enough for him to vault over Nathan Nicholson. That's going to be a tough call, I think, from race control. Was there contact, or was Julian Da Costa already sideways? That would be the question. And from the angles that we have, and I will stress that race control have access to far more than we do, and they might actually have to see the onboard there from the following car, which is on a memory card in the car. It is not being transmitted anywhere. So that would have to be pulled at the end of the race. And I have no problem with that.
No, neither do I. I guarantee you Shea Holbrook is already getting ready for when Noah Harmon's car comes in from wherever it finishes on the track to go straight over, grab that SD card out of the camera, and march it straight upstairs to the 4th floor and hand it to Randy Buck and say, now make your decision.
Let's have a look together.
And by the way, it's 2 of her cars involved.
Yeah.
So it's not as if she's trying to be biased towards one or the other.
Team. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Parker DeLong then leads another lap. The PDR racing car, black with the green windscreen surrounds and the red FIA roll cage. We talk a lot about these cars. Proper race cars. They look pretty standard from the outside because there are no wide arches, no big wings. That is deliberate. They make a big hole in the air. That's why we get great drafting, as we did at the first 2 races at Daytona. But there is a lot of work that goes into these cars. They are delivered from Mazda in Japan. They come into the US at Jacksonville, I think, and then they head down to the Fliss brothers, who literally take them apart like a Lego kit, put the engine to one side, and then start putting more than 250 specific racing parts before the sealed standard tuning engine goes back in.
And one of the parts that they put on them are Penske shocks, which is new for this year. It's why we've seen such dramatic increase in lap time, actually. A lot of teams have credited that. But there is a Penske Shocking Performance Award that will be handed out at the end of the race. Right now, it's going to Rocco Pasquarella. He's passed the most cars in this race. Going from back of the field, he's gained 20 positions. So what was looking like it was going to be a bad weekend after yesterday destroying his car, Rocco is now looking at a $500 check for his effort today. And that check is real cash money.
Cheers getting the RCM mentions in, getting the quotient up. Noah Harmon and Jeremy Fletcher incident under review. Now, let's see if we can, well, it is the number 7. Noah Harmon just easing Jeremy out the way. Did he give him racing room on the outside?
Yep, I would say that was a
racing incident.
That was a very fair racing incident. We saw something similar earlier on in the race, and it was given the same judgment that it was just a racing incident. Now, we're down to 2 minutes to go in this race. Parker DeLong has led the most laps. Who did you say?
Lights are out. Lights are out on the safety car. It's Justin Adiconis to answer the question that you didn't ask.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We've worked together for a long time.
We have.
So it will be, I think it'll be green, white, checker. It might actually just be white checker, depending on when they come around.
No, I see a green flag in hand, not a white one.
Yeah, green. So it will be, how about this to end the 2025 Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup season presented by Michelin, and the championship will be decided on a green white checker finish. It might just be a white, and it is just a white and a green, so it's a last lap dash for cash, for real cash money. It's on the line for the team's championship. It's on the line for the rookies championship. And straight away, Parker DeLong, who's never run a race before, 12 places to the good. The top 3 would all be new race winners if they can make it.
The top 6 would all be new race winners. We have 3 rookies in the top 4 and 4 rookies in the top 6, with champion-elect Jeremy Fletcher in that 7th spot.
And Justin Adiconis in 3rd, with Noah Harmon behind. 2 battling rookies there, but they are battling not just for themselves, but for their teams. And at the moment, McCumbee McAleer Racing has Adiconis in 3rd, with BSI's Noah Harmon in 4th position, under investigation as well, that number 7 car. So keep an eye on 3rd and 4th, the blue and white car with the black on the sides, and then the grey front at number 7. Those 2 cars right now will decide the team's championship.
And the easiest thing to think about, Rookie of the Year, Elio Meza right behind Noah Harmon. It doesn't matter the penalties that would be applied towards Noah Harmon. Potentially, if Elio finishes ahead of Noah, it's done. So that's the easiest way to guarantee Elio that big check. It was Noah Harmon who took the biggest check out of the shootout earlier this year. Elio, get the prize this one.
Last time under braking, side by side for the lead, sideways and off. Oh, what a shame. Oh, that is a nightmare for Panettiere, and he will drop way down. DeLong's going to win it. Second, Noah Harmon will take the Rookie of the Year championship and also the team's championship, subject to post-race penalties and inspection. Justin Adeconis, 2/10 away, will be in third, and that will mean McCumbee McAleer come up short for the team's championship, but they, in the shape of the number 22, Jeremy Fletcher, have won the outright championship. My goodness, what a last 2.5 miles of the season. Drama to the second to last corner. DeLong, Harmon, Adeconis, Elio Meza in fourth position. Fletcher, our champion-elect, in fifth position. And a big donut.
Beautiful celebration for Parker. I'm very emotional actually seeing this because his family is here with him. As I mentioned, it's Parker and his dad who do this. His grandparents coming to the race this weekend as well. I spent some time with his grandmother yesterday, and he said just what a family effort this truly is, but how it's been Parker and his dad going at this. They don't have the big budget. They don't have the capability to pay as much as some of the other teams do, but Parker has the talent.
Last big braking event of the season is down to turn 10. The leaders were side by side. There's no touch there. That is just lack of grip on the outside of that corner, I think. What a shame, because it had been a great race for Marcello Panettiere for Saito Motorsport Group, and he'll finish in a distant 14th. Lovely donut from our first-time winner, Parker DeLong. And that is something. What a way. You know, you're only as good as your last race, and it's quite a while till his next race.
Yep.
And so he's going to have a W in his mind all the way through. Burnouts as well for Jeremy Fletcher. Those Michelin tyres not required. We're used to seeing drifting here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. And Jeremy Fletcher proving he can hang it out there on opposite lock with the best. Just to confirm, then, BSI Racing, by dint of Noah Harmon coming second to Justin Adeconis and McCumbee McAleer is third, are the team's champion. And no action on that pass for Noah Harmon, so that is confirmed that he is in second place.
On that one, there were several others that
Okay.
were being investigated with Noah, so we cannot yet say our Rookie of the Year definitively, but I can't.
As they cross the line.
As they crossed the line, Noah was in second, his second ever podium, but for our race winner, this is his second ever podium. The first one came last year here at this very track, so for the 17-year-old, this is a big, big celebration.
Parker DeLong then takes a first victory, second podium, a year pretty much to the day since he did it last year. Noah Harmon in second, Justin Adeconis in third. That will be the final Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup presented by Michelin podium. Elio Meza in fourth, just coming up short in as they cross the line for Rookie of the Year. Jeremy Fletcher did enough after the issues yesterday for a couple of his championship contending competitors. He is crowned champion and will take the $250,000. Jared Thomas, the 96 in sixth. Then Grant West, Scarlett Cottrell, Rocco Pasquarella and Bobby Gossett for the top 10. Matt Novak, Tyler Gonzalez in 12th. If that stays as it is, he is second in the championship and gets the $85,000 for that later on today. Sally Mott in 13th. Marcello Panettiere for, well, 14th. Not really what he was due, I think, in that. And the tail of the championship, look further down. Nathan Nicholson, Nate Cicero, Weston Workman, all down at the bottom with problems. What a season, what a race.
I can now officially confirm, no matter what happens to Noah Harmon, Elio Meza is our Rookie of the Year.
Shea Adam pays it off. Jeremy Fletcher, the main champion, and crowns that race and that finish, that last 2.5 miles. Was that not just Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup presented by Michelin, season distilled into 2.5 miles or 1 minute 38 seconds clip? That's how it's been all year. Thanks to all of our production crew, particularly our hard-working camera operators trackside. Shea Adam has been alongside me, John Hindorf. Have a great off-season. We'll see you next year for more Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup action in 2026.